Fox News Radio, 1270.
I was thinking, let's do this now with Steve, because I had conversation with Steve Ause, who is the co-host of Nevada Matters with Eddie Floyd, and we were talking about the German company buying the New York Stock Exchange, which is kind of a scary thing right now, I think. I mean, that's so American. There's a company up in Germany that wants to buy, and I think the merger happened. I think Steve said the merger happened. Now, listen in. I talked to him earlier this week.
The Deutsche Boerse wants to merge with the New York Stock Exchange. They would own 60%, and New York Stock Exchange would be 40%.
So is the German Stock Exchange is living and alive right now in Germany, right? And they're just going to merge the two?
Yeah, it'll be a merger, right?
Well, the New York Stock Exchange is so American. I mean, that's a symbol of America, isn't it, Steve? I mean, did we really want this to happen? Is it a good thing?
Well, there's a couple of ways to answer that, I guess, but it is iconic in nature. As a financial advisor, the New York Stock Exchange is a symbol of America's free enterprise. It's been there for 2 centuries. It was first created by brokers and merchants under a buttonwood tree in Lower Manhattan on Wall Street. We all have the images of the giant pillars and the facade of the stock exchange with the giant American flag there, and the ringing of the bell each day, and a crowded floor and computer terminals everywhere. Senator Schumer wants to try to insist that the word New York still is in the title of the new company. It's as of yet unnamed. It's going to be incorporated in the Netherlands. It's going to have dual headquarters in New York and Frankfurt, and it might have a data center in France. But it would all require the shareholders of both companies to agree, the regulators to agree, so there are some obstacles still ahead.
How likely is that?
People who don't want it to happen will try to say that it's a monopoly, but I can't tell.
So is that the only 2 stock markets in the whole world?
No, there are other exchanges for commodities and in Dubai and various other places, and there is consolidation going on. The reason why they're thinking about it is that the NYSE also is already merged with Euronext, and they get much of their trading dollars from Europe. Trading these days, because it's done silently now with computers trading with other computers, so the volume has gone down on these traditional exchanges. And because of that competition, profits have been squeezed. Some say that these are combining so they have a higher volume, and that the New York Stock Exchange might be in jeopardy if they didn't allow this to go through.
That's unbelievable. Now, do you think there's going to be other American companies that are going to be bought by foreign companies? Is this starting a trend?
That's what concerns me the most. Right now, our country's main problems are unemployment and the budget deficit, but the one that bothers me even more is our trade deficit. We buy a lot more stuff from other countries than they buy from us. I may have said this on your show before, that cargo ships come to America full of Chinese goods. These goods go to Walmart or wherever, and the ships go back largely empty because we don't make much of anything. We've outsourced all of our production to other countries because of higher regulations here, higher taxes, the unions perhaps that have pushed for higher wages, retirement benefits, and other factors. And we just don't make things as cheaply, and we don't make that much in the U.S., so we send our dollars to China, to other countries, to the oil countries, to Germany, and what can they do with those dollars except the best thing they can do is come back to America, use those dollars and buy up our companies, buy our crops, buy what little things that we make. We may see America being sold off over time. We need to bring jobs back to America. We need to make stuff once again.
Well, I got to tell you, it does bother me a little bit, but I need more information. I want to ask you one final question.
Yep.
Do you think that this merger puts the U.S. dollar as the world currency in any trouble?
Well, it's already in trouble, and I don't think it's necessarily because of this deal. There are countries, especially China, that are wanting to take us off as the reserve currency of the world, and that would be a big thing for us. So that trend is already in place.
Steve, thank you so much. You know, I want to talk to you about that next week. I want to talk about the U.S. dollar in jeopardy and what's going on as far as if we should ever not be the world currency. Woohoo! Let's talk about that next week.
Okay, Jay, let's do it.
We're going to do it. Wow, see?
I see.
Crazy. All the CPAs and financial people who watch the economics know that this is already happening. They say that increased competition has made stock trading less profitable. So the answer is to get bigger.
It makes sense. That always seems to be size, always seems to be the answer, and at least in the world of finance.
The New York Stock Exchange Group, operator of the New York Stock Exchange, bought Euronext for $10.2 billion in 2007. The combined company handles stock and derivative markets in Amsterdam, Brussels, Lisbon, Paris, as well as New York. Wow, it's going to get interesting. It's 7:34 right now. We're going to take a break and come back on Broadview. I've got the Boomer memory test. Get ready, Bill, even though you're the top end of the Boomer. We'll be back. You're with Fox News.
Fox News Radio, 1270.